Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to Fate Stay Night. Today we'll be recording episode 13. So just a heads up, but I did accidentally recorded episode 12 and 13 for too long, so this ended up being a episode that's split, so if the transition is weird, sorry about that. Anyways, in the last episode we fought and defeated Ryder. Pretty big episode in that regard. Honestly, I mean, other stuff happened in the episode, but that was really the big thing. I also got my first bad end, but the big thing was the fight with between Saber and Ryder, where Saber even had to resort to unleashing her Noble Phantasm. So we're going to go ahead and pick up from there in the aftermath and see what goes on. Obviously, I already know because I already recorded the episode, but let's just go ahead and jump into it. I could find the save. There it is. Hope you guys enjoy. Archeria. The girl who had just finished her rite of passage would be known by that name from that day on. It was a time of chaos and war. It began with the demise of an empire. An empire believed to be indestructible was only awaiting its destruction at the hands of invading barbarians. Is this like Saber's backstory? To prepare for the war against these barbarians, the Empire deprived this island country of any military forces. That was the beginning. Once her country lost the Empire's protection, it could not escape becoming independent, and it broke into smaller countries in no time. The barbarian invasions, self-destructive strife between clans, a long period of war that would later be called the Dark Ages. She was born into this period as the heir to the throne. It was a long period of chaos. The king believed the Magus's prophecy and yearned for the birth of his appointed successor. But the child that was born was not the one the king desired. The child was not a boy. Even if the child was fated to become a king, he could not make a child that was not a boy his successor. The girl was entrusted to the king's vassals and was raised as a child of a mere knight. The king fell into despair, but the Magus was delighted. The sex of the one who would become king had never mattered. He was confident that the fact of the girl being separated from the castle until the day of the prophecy was proof that she would become king. The girl grew up as the successor under the simple and wise old knight. The old knight did not really believe the Magus's prophecy. He just felt the same air from the girl as he did from his king, so he felt that he must raise her as a knight, and he wished her to grow. But the knight did not even have to wish for such a thing, as the girl trained day after day to become stronger than anyone. If only a king can save a ruined country headed for death. The girl swore to bear a sword for that reason alone, without him ever being told so. So, the day of the prophecy arrived. Knights and lords from around the country gathered to be selected as the king. Every one of them expected the selection to be through jousting if the most superior one was to become a king. The only thing prepared at the place of selection was a naked sword stuck in a stone. On the hilt of the sword was a golden inscription. Whoso pulleth out the sword of the stone is rightwise king born of England. Many knights grabbed the sword, following that command. But no one was able to pull the sword out, and the knights began the expected method of selection by jousting. And whoever Saber was just yanked that thing out. As the girl was only an apprentice, she was not qualified to joust. The girl neared the deserted stone of selection and reached out for the sword without hesitation.
いやいや、それを手に取る前に、きちんと考えた方がいい。
When she turned around, before her was the most feared Magus in the country. The Magus said that she would no longer be human once she took a hold of that sword. The girl only responded with a nod. Becoming a king means no longer being human. She was prepared for that ever since she was born. In short, a king is someone who kills everyone to protect everyone. The young girl thought about it every night and shuddered until morning came. No day passed that she did not fear that fact, but the girl said that it would end this day. The sword was pulled out as if it were only natural to do so, and the place was filled with light. In that instant, she became something not human. The king's gender does not matter. No one will care about the king's appearance or even notice that the king acts like a king. Even if anybody noticed that the king was female, there would be no problem if she was a good king. Perhaps because of the sword's magic, the girl's growth stopped at that time as well. Many knights feared it as ominous, but most of them praised their master's immortality as divine. And thus, The time of the king who would become a legend started. The battles of the new king were indeed the acts of a god of war. The king always led the front. No enemies could stand in her way. Arturia, the god of war. There was no defeat for a body admired as a dragon in human form. For 10 years and 12 battles, she knew only victory. Those were the days she ran through as the king. She never turned back and was never disgraced. She was raised as the king and fulfilled her obligations as the king. Is that why I saw such a figure? Her soul must still be on the battlefield. Before daybreak, resting her body in the wind under the indigo blue sky, she just gazes into the distance. The sky is high and the clouds are flowing fast. Under the clear air, she is looking at the great army she must face with her sword in hand. That figure is burned in and will not go away. She and her sword are one. The sword from the stone that chose the king. I think the brilliance of the sword that selected her fate is also her brilliance. But I wonder in the dream. That sword is different from the one she had. It is similar, but different. The one she used last night is different from this sword. So, how did she lose such a fine sword? Excellent question. When I wake up, I'm in my room. It's light outside. I guess I fell asleep after coming back to my room, unable to make a decision. Yeah, you need to go see if Saber's awake. It was a strange dream. Events I shouldn't know about. Things I don't know about Saber. Is it possible for me to dream about them? I vaguely think. Saber's true identity that was hidden. To be honest, I still can't accept who she is. Saber is just Saber. I can't change my attitude just because I know who she was before, and I don't think Saber would want that either. Yeah, it did. The sword from yesterday suited her, but the sword in my dream also suited her. No, you could say I was fascinated. With yesterday's sword and my sword and the sword in my dream, it seems I fall for swords easily, apparently. I mean, cool swords are pretty cool, right? I also thought Lancer's lance was beautiful when I saw it, but my interest in swords is exceptional. It seems I'm easily attracted to swords. I take a deep breath and reach up to my sweaty face. I wipe the sweat off my forehead. Even though it's winter, my body is burning. Feels like my blood is getting hotter and I feel restless. My body has been strangely hot. The hand that bears the command spell is hot as if it's holding a pocket heater. I take a deep breath to try to calm myself. That's unfortunate. Saber's not woken up even once since last night, but it still seems she's getting better. Her breathing is calm now and there's no sign she's gasping in pain. Saber is sleeping peacefully. This is an everyday morning scene. If I let her sleep like this, she might get back to normal. And there'll be no need to have her kill people. Then, just like now, Saber will be with me and... I hit the wall. I'm so weak it makes me sick. I get up, trying not to make a sound. I don't know when Saber will wake up, but I have to make a decision before she does. Osaka must still be asleep. There's no energy in the house, and it feels like it's abandoned. No, I'm just depressed. I can't decide, so I'm wandering around in a gray state, and that causes the world to be vague. I hear something cut through the air. Is it Archer? I remember that sound. Yeah. I don't feel like cooking breakfast right now, so I'll take a walk and check it out. It's much colder than usual outside. It must be really cold if my burning body feels it. It's so cold that it might snow.
蔵の方からだな。あれ。
The sound is coming periodically. I cross the yard, breathing out white puffs. He's there in front of the shed. I guess I kind of knew he would be here, so I wasn't surprised. He must have been shooting arrows until now. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. He lowers his bow in displeasure as soon as he sees me.
物騒だな。人んちの庭で弓なんて引くな。矢が当たったらどうするつもりだ。
どうするつもりもない。もとより矢など使っていないのだ。
I'm using arrows. What?
見ていないものが当たる道理はなかろう。
Are just like mentally firing them? Or is he just practicing a bow? He doesn't need to tell me that. The sound was Archer's bowstring cutting through the air. I don't know why, but Archer isn't using any arrows, but only pulling his bow.
いい弓だな。今まで納得いかなかったけど、お前本当にアーチャーだったんだ。
Wasn't convinced until now. That's tough.
さて、私はお前が知っている弓使いとは違うからな。弓道など聞かれても答えられんぞ。
Fair.
お前たちの弓は己に当てる射であり、私のは敵に当てる矢だ。お前の言うアーチャーというのは礼節を重んじる者のことだろ
う。He curls his lips offensively. As I thought, I can't get along with him.
誰もお前に弓のことを聞こうだなんて思ってないよ。ただ、何をしているか気になっただけだ。
見ての通り、調子を測っているのだが、セイバーにつけられた傷も癒えた。いつまでも見張り役というわけにもいくまい。
That's true. I see. He's healed now, and that means Tosaka should return to the war. I turn away. Since Tosaka and Archer are rejoining the battle, I must make a decision. I have to think seriously somewhere I can be alone.
斬新という言葉があるな。
え？
ことを済ませた後に保つ間のことだ。私の弓術とお前の弓道で唯一共通しているものがそれだと思うのだが。
なんだよ。お前なんかに発説を解かれる覚えはないぞ。
I feel like this is going to get philosophical.
まあ聞け。矢を放った後、体は自然と場に止まるという。それを斬新というそうだな。
Certainly, there are 8 movements in archery called the 8 stages of shooting. The last one, the follow-through, is the state that comes after shooting an arrow, but...
ああ、それがどうしたっていうんだ、お前。
心構えの話だ。斬新とは己の行為。放った矢が的中するかを確かめるものではない。矢とは放つ前にすでに的中しているものだ。射手は自らのイメージ通りに指を離す。ならば当たるか当たらぬかなど確認する必要はない。射の前に当たらぬと思えば当たらぬし、当たると思えば当たっているのだから。
そんなことあるか。どんなに当たるって思っても当たらない射はある。思うだけで当たるって言うんなら誰だって100発100中だ。
I feel like he's got to be getting at something, but I don't get what he's getting at yet.
そうかな。少なくともお前は100発100中だろ。
His statement makes my heart jump. That's certainly...
まあそんな話はどうでもいい。言いたいことは一つだけだ。斬新とは矢が当たるかどうかを見極めるものではない。ならば斬新とはその結果を受け入れるための心構えではなかったか。
Okay, so is that what he's kind of getting at, I think?
分かってる。要するに最後まで見届けろって言いたいんだろう、お前は。
そういうことだ。セイバーのことは聞いた。彼女がこのような状態になるのは初めから分かっていたことだろう。魔力の提供もなしで戦っていればいつかは消える。それはもう決まっていたことだ。ならば
So we have to see it through. All that's left is to accept the result. Is he saying that no matter what happens to Saber because of my decisions, all I can do is see through what happens? I turn my back to Archer. I'll leave this guy once and for all.
それともう一つ。気がついていないようだから教えておこう。
I hear a voice behind me.
セイバーはな、宝具を使えば自分が消えると分かっていたはずだ。彼女はおそらく最後まで宝具を使う気はなかったのだろう。
She was certain she was going to lose if she didn't. The usual offensive tone isn't present in his voice.
にもかかわらず、宝具を使った理由は一つ。セイバーは自身が消えることより、お前を守ることを選んだのだ。
In that instant, that's what it was. I mean, she saw us up there, and that's what steeled her determination, right? Like, for a second, she was like, what's going on? Like, why is he here? And then she got more determined than ever.
それを決して忘れるな。
His voice holds only honest sincerity. Going back to the park? Let's not do this again. Oh, we finna die again. Oh, the status and weapon screen get updated. There's someone here. Yep, we got it. Archeria. Details. The once and future king, England's legendary hero, King Arthur. Okay, it is King Arthur. Is a hero well known as the model for knights, but it is said that he actually did exist. The real King Arthur was called Dux Bellorum, the king of battles, and he was a great leader who led the 12 kings of northern England, Gododin, against foreign invasions by such people as the Picts and the Scottish. The identity of the real great leader, King Arthur, has many variations. There's even an opinion that there were two people that correspond to the king. One was a pure Briton, Arthur. The other was a Roman, Artorius. This opinion states that the legend of King Arthur that is known today is one story merged from the accomplishments of these two. The legend of King Arthur is all too famous. The exceptional Magus Merlin prepared a sword and said, "Whoso pulleth out the sword of this stone is rightwise king of all England." When Arthur pulled out the sword, he was recognized as the king of England, and with the knights of the Round Table gathered around him, he went through many adventures. Arthur was the child of the king of Britain, Uther Pendragon, and the wife of his servant, Duke Cornwall, the blue-eyed Igraine. As a price for Merlin's assistance in ensuring the success of his love for Igraine, he had to leave their child in Merlin's care. I'll properly guide this child, one bearing a great destiny, and protect him from the crisis of the royal family. Merlin entrusted Arthur to Uther's loyal knight, Sir Ector, and Arthur was raised as his adopted child until the day he pulled out the chosen sword. The day of battle and troubles that followed after he pulled out the sword and became king became a great story of medieval knighthood. The great deeds of King Arthur, ruling over Camelot as the great king of knights, and saving England by leaving many great men, are all one could ask from a hero. Arthur's all-too-famous sword, the holy sword Excalibur, was not the chosen sword. Rather, it was the treasured sword of fairyland, given to him by the Lady of the Lake under Merlin's guidance after he lost the chosen sword. After King Arthur, the holy sword Excalibur, the fairy princess of the lake, Vivian, became his guardian. King Arthur's lifelong enemy, Princess Morgana, was in existence opposed to Arthur's guardian Vivian, but Morgana herself was also a fairy of the lake that protects the king. King Arthur ordered the knights of the Round Table to search for the Holy Grail. In the King Arthur legend, the search for the Holy Grail comprised the core episodes in the story of the Knights of the Round Table, but only 3 knights were commanded to search, and King Arthur himself did not go on the journey. Of the 3 knights, the perfect knight Lancelot did not make it to the Holy Grail due to his unfaithful flirting, and his son Galahad did obtain the Holy Grail but abandoned it due to his lack of greed. The end of the legend was marked by King Arthur's death. Arthur's life had been sought many times by the Princess Morgana, his older sister, by a different father. At the end of the battle between him and the knight Mordred, born from Princess Morgana's scheme, his legend closes its curtain. King Arthur's fall started when his most trusted knight Lancelot disappeared, after becoming ashamed about his affair with Arthur's wife Guinevere. Losing his trusted knight, losing the sheath of the holy sword, and even losing his own country while on a long expedition, King Arthur faced his last battle in the land of Camlan. The holy sword Excalibur was entrusted to Sir Bedivere on King Arthur's deathbed, and he returned it to the Lady of the Lake. King Arthur's corpse was carried on the Ladies of the Lake to Avalon, the land where heroes sleep. A legend is handed down that King Arthur will awaken from his sleep in Avalon when England is in peril, so that he can save his homeland. Arthur bears the red dragon that symbolizes the British people, and he himself has the attributes of the dragon. Since he has the karma of the dragon, the embodiment of divine mystery and the transcendent, he has strong magical qualities. On the other hand, he is weak against heroes who have defeated dragons in the past. Okay. So, it is just King Arthur. I was right. Now, does that mean that, like, it is male King Arthur and just a female body? Or is it saying that because they don't know the true legend of King Arthur, that it was actually a female named Arturia? Or Arturia. Oh my god, I was saying Arturia, wasn't I? There's no R there. I'm not sure which of the two it is. I'm leaning towards, you know, Arturia, because that's the name it says right there. And that because they're saying the legend isn't known for sure, right, that it could just be slightly wrong. Any new skills we learned? Probably not. Oh, charisma. B rank is enough to lead a country. Well, hold that one off before, huh? Okay, this is all new. Excalibur, Sword of Light. It is not a weapon made by men, but a divine weapon forged by the planet. It is a noble phantasm that is the greatest of the holy swords. It transforms the possessor's magical energy into light, increases its kinetic energy by converging and accelerating it, and allows for usage of sorcery on the level of divine spirits. To an observer, it looks like a giant beam of light. The target point is the tip. It is the ultimate slash that cuts through everything in the area the light goes through. Its enormous power heats space around the tip, and as a result, it is interpreted as a wave of light that moves across the earth. You could also call it a directed energy weapon. Oh, good lord. Seems fair. Now we have a Holy Sword Excalibur here. Caliburn. Holy sword that symbolizes England's King of Knights, King Arthur. It is a symbol of a king pulled out from a chosen stone under the guidance of Magus Merlin. It is a different sword from the one granted by the Fairy of the Lake. Its characteristics as a Noble Phantasm differ, but it seems Saber is more attached to this holy sword. Since a sword is a symbol of power, a sword carried by a king usually ends up being degraded to the status of an ornament covered by decorations. Excuse me, wow, I can't read right now. This is the biggest difference between Excalibur and Caliburn. In exchange for being a beautiful sword, its effectiveness as a weapon does not match that of Excalibur. In the legend, it is said that it broke when King Arthur fought in a battle going against the principles of chivalry. So, wait. Is Saber using Excalibur or Caliburn? I actually am not sure. I mean, she yelled Excalibur, but... Okay, let's just move on. The park is empty as usual. Maybe it helps that it's colder today than usual. There's no one around and it looks like I'm the only one out at this time. I sit on the bench sluggishly. I came to a deserted place as I wished to. Now that I'm here, I must decide what to do. There are no choices that allow me to postpone the problem. If I'm to end the Holy Grail War by defeating other masters, I need Saber to stay. No, even without that, I don't want her to disappear. But that means having Saber attack people, like Ryder did. There's no way I can do that. Making Saber do such a thing would be like telling her to die. First of all, Saber would surely refuse, but you have the command spells. You could force her to. When I hang my head, I see my left hand. I have 2 command spells left. If I use one, I can force Saber to follow my command. I bite my lip and discard the ridiculous thought. I don't know how long I remain slumped on this bench, but just as my fingers start to tremble from the cold. Are we getting kidnapped again, or I'm suddenly called?
Iria, お前、また一人でこんなところまでやってきたのか。危ないぞ。どこにマスターの目が光ってるか。
As I start to say that, I'm amazed at my stupidity. I mean, we've kind of seen all this before, actually. Ilya's a master, too. I shouldn't be worrying about this in any way. Aren't we enemies?
悪い。 今はイリアと話をする余裕がないんだ。せっかく会えたけど話し相手になってやれない。今日は冷えるし帰った方がいいぞ。
Sitting down on the bench, I dismiss Ilya. There are things I need to talk to her about, but I have my hands full of Saber right now. What's going on? Ilya doesn't say anything, and she just stares at me as if I'm a stranger.
イリア、いや別にお前を邪険にしてるんじゃないんだ。今はちょっといろいろと立て込んでいて。
知ってるわ。セイバーが消えかけてるんでしょ。
Yeah, correct.
それでシローはどうしようかって考えてるのよね。
Suddenly, the girl in front of me says this coldly as if she is someone else.
イリア、
そんなことで悩むなんてバカみたい。シローがそんなだからライダーのマスターにも逃げられたのよ。負けたやつなんて殺しちゃえばいいだけなのに。
I move my legs. I know it's bad to stay sitting down, so I put my power in them to stand up. But my body does not move, as if entranced by Ilya.
イリア、お前、なんでそんなこと。
Did we mess up again?
言うまでもないでしょ。昨日の夜ね、私もあのビルにいただけよ。もっともさすがにビルの中で様子を見てるしかなかったけど。
Yeah, we've seen all this. Yeah, we're dead.
あ、もう金縛りになったんだ。シロったら守りも何もないんだ。
イリア、
無駄だよお兄ちゃん。もうじき声も出なくなるけど、私もね、今日はお話をしに来た。
俺をここで殺す。
We'll see if there's anything different. But we're probably just dead.
うん。だってもうマスターでいて戦う手段がなくなったシローなんて簡単に殺せるんだから。他の人に殺される前に見つけられてよかった。それじゃあおやすみなさいお兄ちゃん。どうせセイバーも消えるんだから早い方がすっきりするでしょ。
We have seen all of this. This is whatever was going on here. Did we read this? I'm gonna read it just in case. My body is burning. Even though my consciousness is deep in the darkness, my burning body is appealing that it is alive. See, I guess I'm alive then. But even if that's the case, that's only for the moment. Ilya said it too.
戦う手段のないシローなんて簡単に殺せるんだから。
She's right. I can't fight at all without Saber. The Holy Grail War is a battle between servants. I cannot possibly match one of those servants. That fact has been proven many times already. It was a merciless beating. As Saber said, my battle against a servant is to survive. I couldn't even do that. I was cut all over my body, and on top of that, thrown to the ground from a third-floor window. I only survived because of an abnormality in my body that I don't even understand. That fact is so vexing that it makes me mad. I cannot stop the disaster occurring around me just because the one in front of me was unbeatable. Even though I chose to fight as a master to stop people getting hurt, but I could not protect them. It pisses me off. The superhero I've admired since childhood always has to win or it's meaningless. Jeez. My body is burning. My whole body is demanding that I must win, but I don't have any means of winning nor a way to fight. How would I be able to fight? I don't have the skills to fight alongside Saber without being a burden to her.
それも間違いだ。エミやシローは格闘には向かない。お前の戦いは精神の戦い。己との戦いであるべきだからだ。
I've been told that quite a few times, huh? Suddenly, I remember the back of the man who said those words.
戦いになればエミやシローに勝ち目などない。お前のスキルでは何をやってもサーバントには通じない。
I know. I realize that more than ever now.
ならばせめてイメージしろ。
Oh, are we gonna use his advice?
現実でかなわない相手なら想像の中で勝て。自身が勝てないのなら勝てるものを幻想しろ。
He doesn't need to tell me something I already know. I'm going to win, it'll only be in my head. But what could I win with? I can't imagine myself beating a servant. I can't handily deceive myself, and an image created by deceiving myself will be full of flaws. There's no way I would be able to match a servant, a first-class illusion, with such a third-rate image. So, what will I be able to beat? And what will I beat it with? I'm searching for the answer to that question. Searching for the answer, even now. A golden sword. It's a sword for her alone. I don't want it myself. It's just beautiful. I just want to hold it in my hands, if it's permitted. Geez, it's a bad habit for an amateur magus. That's all I can do is examine the contents. I can see such dreams unsuitable for my positions. But, if this is a dream, I should be allowed to at least think about it. First, I assume the basic structure and reproduce the composing material. Is this dude about to make Excalibur? Oh, the basic form when I use the strengthening magic isn't enough as I thought. Strengthening is changing something that's already there, so it's meaningless with something that isn't there at all. So if I'm to remember that sword, I have to put more effort into it. It's well before the basics. It's the process full of waste that I came up with before Kiritsugu taught me how to use the strengthening magic. How was it supposed to take shape? When I come to, I'm in a ridiculous place.
なんだここ。
This isn't just some place I've never seen before. It has a bed with a gorgeous canopy and a long carpet that makes it look like you could sink to your ankles. A stone fireplace that is not just decorative, but actually functional. The patterns on the wall aren't just wallpapers as they are actually engraved. I mean, I'd assume this is where Ilya lives, right? I'm used to mansions like Shinji's house, but this is on a different level. It's embarrassing to say, but this is like a castle you'd read about in fairy tales. My mind almost falls unconscious. My body is strangely heavy. Is my blood circulating poorly? I feel like I'll fall asleep again if I let my guard down.
何がどうなったんだっけ。
Try to remember with my hazy mind. I was bound by Ilya and lost consciousness.
イリアに捕まったってことか。
No one is in the room. My body feels heavy, but it seems I could at least raise my arm.
縛られてるぞ、俺。
Oh, that's tough. You got bound, then you got bound. Magically, then physically. My dazed mind instantly awakens. Realizing the danger I'm in, I study my situation first. Yeah, you might need to forge that Excalibur, bro. Get back to it.
椅子に座らされて手を後ろに回されてるのか。これは手錠じゃないよな。縄で手首を縛ってるだけか。
I'm not in the worst condition, but it makes no difference to the fact that I can't move. My body is still numb, and I can't even get up with my hands tied.
あれからどれぐらい経ってるんだ。時計はないか、やっぱり。
There's no clock in the room. The window is behind me. I turn around as much as I can, but the curtain is draped over it and I can't quite tell what's outside. No sense of time or location. The sun is already set outside. Hey, we kind of have a sense of time, actually. I met Ilya in the morning, so that means at least half a day has passed. I can't be doing this now. I don't know where I am, but I have to go home to Saber as quickly as I can. Saber is weakening. I can't trouble her by letting her know I've been kidnapped. I pull at my hands. Even if I'm to run away, I have to do something about the rope tied behind my back first. The door opens. I release my power at the same moment as she walks in.
あ、やっと起きたんだ。おはよう、お兄ちゃん。体は大丈夫？
Yeah, not so great right now. Not you. Ilya is acting totally different from before. Her cold eyes are gone, and the Ilya before me is the white girl who was talking to me in that park the other day.
どうしたの？なんか元気ないけど、まだ体は動かない？おかしいな。そろそろ声ぐらいは出せるはずなんだけど。
You might be overestimating us. She looks at me, tilting her head. It looks like she's just worried about me.
大丈夫だ。声は出るし、頭の方も自分が捕まってるってわかる程度にははっきりしてる。
I glare at Ilya.
何よ、不満なの？捕まえた敵はね、本当は地下牢に入れておくものなんだよ。
I guess this is nicer than that.
けど、それじゃシローがかわいそうだから。 特別に私の部屋に連れてきてあげたのに。
I don't know if I should be thankful or not. But anyway, I'm starting to understand the situation I'm in.
なんとなく状況は分かった。俺は捕まって、ここはイリアの住処ってわけか。
I say so sharply, killing my emotions. As long as I don't know the full details of the situation, I should listen for now.
そうだよ。前に言ったでしょ。私は森の後ろに住んでるんだって。
Oh, so I guess he was right. It is a castle.
ここは樹海の中の城で、周りには何もないわ。シロが住んでる町まで車で何時間もかかるんだもの。助けになんて来るはずもないし、絶対に邪魔も入らない。
That's awfully to the point. Nobody will come to save you.
そうか、それは分かったけど、なんだってそんなことをしたんだ。俺を殺すんなら、あの公園でできたじゃないか。
なんで？私、シロを殺す気なんてないよ。シロは私のだもん。他のマスターは殺すけど、シロは特別。
That's also kind of creepy, but...
だから誰も邪魔が入らないようにシロをここに閉じ込めたの。
Hi. How are we special? Just because we treat you with, like, basic kindness? Or I automatically lean back. Ilya puts her face close to mine as if not caring about my feelings.
イリア、ちょっと。
I know it's indiscreet, but my heart's beating fast from the weight of Ilya on my legs. Even though she's not heavy, she feels so alive that I can't think straight.
やっぱりシロは特別。ねえ、私のサーバントになってみない？シロが私のサーバントになってくれるなら、もう殺さなくて済むわ。シロがうんって言ってくれれば、それでシロだけは助けてあげるよ。
That's a fun thing to have to decide. This is nothing half-hearted. Ilya's words are so pure that I won't be able to take it back if I nod. And if I do betray her, all her purity would probably turn into hatred. With Ilya so close to me, my confused mind freezes. This isn't just that she likes me. Ilya's question is asking me if I want to live or die.
考えるまでもないでしょ。シロにはもうセイバーはいないんだもの。戦う手段なんてないわ。
Unless we forge the holy sword Excalibur with our mind.
なら、マスターでいてもしょうがないじゃない。
Well, that was never the plan.
違う。セイバーはまだ消えていない。そんなことさせるもんか。
けど、そんな状態じゃ簡単に殺されちゃうよ。いいからシロはここにいればいいの。シロがずっとそばにいてくれるなら、私もずっとシロを守ってあげる。
Ilya snuggles up to me. I don't even have the freedom to push her away. I don't know what will happen if I disobey her, but I still can't nod to Ilya's words.
ダメだ。離れるんだ、イリア。どんなに言われても、俺は。
Ilya puts her finger up to my mouth. She smiles and looks up at my bewildered face.
もう、分かってないんだから。いい？今のシロはカゴの中の小鳥なのよ。生かすも殺すも私の自由なんだから、あんまり私を怒らせるようなことは言っちゃダメ。
No, we get that.
10年も待ったんだもの。ここでシロを簡単に殺しちゃうなんて。
What have you waited
そんな
10
の
years
つ
for?
まらないでしょ。
Her voice sounds like a girl who wants a toy. I gasp, sensing a cruelty that sends a chill up my spine.
これで最後だよ、お兄ちゃん。もう一度だけ聞いてあげる。
What happened? Like, what has she been waiting 10 years for? Her eyes are full of hope.
シロ、私のものになりなさい。
Ilya says so as if allowing no refusal. I mean, what? We just die if we don't, right? Nod to Ilya or refuse again. Okay. I feel like we just die if we don't. I mean, I don't know. But is it really the move to say yes? Doesn't feel like it. Let's just say no, and then if we die, that's probably pretty fast, right? I don't even need to think about it, and I can only take so much. Why does everyone think that Saber is disappearing? Saber won't disappear, and I'm going to fight with her until the very end. I can't undermine that oath with something like this.
イリア、お前の言うことは聞けない。俺にはセイバーがいる。セイバーが残っている限り、マスターとして戦うだけだ。
I hear her gasp. Her red eyes open for an instant like rigor mortis.
そう。あなたまで私を裏切るのね、シロ。
Yikes. Ilya backs away. The girl looks down at me, not getting upset.
いいわ。シロが私の言うことを聞かないなら、私もシロの言うことなんて聞かない。今まで見逃してあげたけど、それもこれでおしまいなんだから。
Ilya's voice is filled with murderous intent. I feel an ominous tone to it.
待っていなさい。すぐに用を済ませてくるから。
We are very much dead.
待て、何をするつもりだ、イリア。
Unless we forge the holy sword Excalibur. That's literally like our only chance.
何って、セイバーとリンを殺しに行くの。二人を殺してくれば、シロも少しは後悔するでしょ。
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I'd regret that a lot.
バカなことを言うな。セイバーもトーサカも関係ない。俺は自分だけの都合でイリアとはいられないって言ってるんだ。
そうなの？けど二人は殺すわ。それが終わったら次はシローの番よ。私のものにならないのなら
Yikes.
シローなんていらないもの。
Wow. She starts to go. She's serious. She's going to kill Saber and Tosaka.
やめろイリア。セイバーもトーサカも関係ないだろう。捕まってるのは俺なんだから。憎いって言うなら俺だけにしろ。二人を殺す理由なんてない。
Yeah, I don't think you're convincing her, bro.
理由はあるわ。私以外のマスターは生かしておけないもの。それが聖杯戦争でしょ。
I mean, yeah, I suppose so, but...
バカ、簡単に人を殺すなんて言うな。お前にはそんなの似合わない。イリアはまだ子供なんだから、そんな真似だけはしちゃダメだ。
After looking at me in amazement.
残念ね。私はもうマスターを殺してるんだよ。
What?
お兄ちゃん。
Ilya says so with a cheerful face. Did she kill Shinji?
もっとも、それは昨日の話だけど、予想外といえば予想外だったかな。
Whoops.
私、あいつはお兄ちゃんが手を下すって思ってたのに。
At that moment, to my surprise, I clearly understand what she's talking about. Ilya said she was in that building last night. So, wasn't the master fleeing in front of her the perfect prey?
イリア、お前。
ごめんね。シローがやらないから私がやっちゃった。本当は横取りって好きじゃないんだけど。
Yikes. She doesn't sound guilty at all. For Ilya, it must have been nothing at all. That makes me realize, no, I should have known the last time I met her. This girl has no sense of good and evil. The girl laughing innocently is Ilya. The girl laughing mercilessly is also Ilya. It's not like a devil and an angel are in her at the same time. It's just that Ilya is a devil called an angel.
それじゃあ行ってくるわ。帰ってきたらシローの番なんだから、せいぜい逃げ出す努力でもしていなさい。もっとも、カゴから逃げ出せないから、小鳥は小鳥なの。
God, Ilya is brutal, man.
お兄ちゃんじゃ、この鳥カゴからは出られないでしょうけど。
Ilya leaves the room. What she says is true. As she doesn't understand threats or haggling, everything she says is true. So I can't stay here forever. I have to escape and meet up with Saber before Ilya attacks her. I shake my body and try to loosen the ropes. She really must think I can't escape as there's no one in the room. I can get out of these ropes by myself if there's no one keeping watch, but...
まだ体
Not working well enough. Even though I can move, my limbs are heavy as steel, and just moving them will run me out of breath.
イリアのやつこれを見越して逃げられないなんて言ってたの
Yeah, you're gonna have to summon something that cuts the ropes and somehow gets you out of here. I don't know what it would be, though. Certainly, I can't move. Even if I can get the rope off, I won't be able to escape if my body won't move to my satisfaction.
体が重いのは疲れてるからじゃないよなそっかイリアの目を見てそれで動かなくなったんだっけ
Must be what they call the mystic eyes. They say a superior magist is able to intervene magically with a target just by looking into their eyes. The common form of mystic eyes is binding, so this must be something like that. As eyes perceive visual information, their disadvantage is that they are weak against suggestion. Therefore, a magist usually casts some protection over their eyes to shut out others' magical energy. Huh. Yeah, but we can't do that, huh?
呪文もなしの暗示じみた金縛りにやられるなんて遠坂が聞いたらなんて言うか
Well, they're just mystic eyes that are acquired with the use of magic. But I hear that monsters born with such eyes don't even need to look at the eyes of their target. These people exhibit their ability just by looking, but I hear such powers are rare. So, fortunately, it doesn't seem like Ilya's mystic eyes are the special kind. This is just an intervention, sending her magical energy into my body. And there is a way to dispel myself. I can't move my body because Ilya's magical energy is invading my nerves. So if I remove that magical energy, I'll be able to move again.
単純な話だ泥が溜まってるなら水を流して洗えばいい
Yes, how simple. I'm sure you can do that very easily. I mean, he either finds a way or he dies, right? And Tosaka and Saber also die. But closing my eyes, I concentrate on the inside of my body. I don't have the skills to detect or remove someone's magical energy from within me. But such skills are unnecessary if the magical energy is not rooted in my body. Ilya's magical energy is stagnant in my body. All I have to do is channel strong magical energy through me and push it out.
悪いな乱暴なやり方だけどあいにくそんなことしかでき
What
な
the
い
heck are you doing? I apologize to my body as some consolation. Bro's about to annihilate his body to get that out of there. All I have to do now is my daily routine. The ritual where I drive a nerve into my back. Oh, well. So that's going to be really convenient then, that we know that. No, it's not that anymore. There's no need to make a new one now. I can just put a switch inside of me. I don't have to make a magic circuit inside me, as I just have to switch my nerves into a magic circuit.
トレースオン
I cast a spell to suggest myself. Spells do not do anything to the world. It is only something that one casts on oneself as one intervening within the world. Words are the best way to make your body transform, in order that only works on the self to create a divine mystery, a very simple magic called spells.
基本腰解明
Analyzing, like, his inside of his own body. My circulation speeds up. My blood gains power. My body turns into a device for pumping magical energy. Okay, so he's figured that out at least. Must be assistance from the jewel Tosaka made me swallow. The creation of magical energy that usually takes me an hour now only takes an instant.
構成材質解明
I don't even need to push the switch. I can just let the magical energy circulate and let my hands go. Well, I say push the switch, but I still haven't figured out where the switch thing is. You got bigger concerns right now. The heat goes wild. Calmly controlling my speeding heartbeat, I let my hands go from the spinning cord. Blood spills out my mouth. Some vein must have been cut or something must have ripped inside me. I channeled enough magical energy to wash out the mud inside of me, so it's fortunate if I only ended up coughing up blood. And to add, I don't feel any pain.
痛みがないのはあれかな
Yeah.
また例の自然治癒かな
Yeah, that ability's OP. It's an abnormality I don't understand, but I'm just happy to have it at times like this. It's my greatest and only strength for any wounds to heal if they're not fatal. What I should be careful of is relying on it. Because the cause is unknown, if I get myself injured relying on the healing might go away the next time. So I shouldn't rely on such a vague miracle. Yeah, good plan. You never know when it just won't work.
よしあとは縄だけだ
I loosen the rope. My wrists are bruised, but my hands weren't tied tightly. I don't think it was Ilya that tied me up, but it wasn't tied too tightly. First of all, Ilya wouldn't be able to carry me here. Is there someone other than Ilya who isn't too strong?
バーサーカーは論外だ あいつが縄を締めたら、その時点で俺の手首なんてへし折られてる。
Yeah, that's fact. I get it from the chair with a stupid remark. I mean, you're not wrong. It's good that I can move freely now, but it seems the movement was too violent. I don't have any wounds, but magical energy is still raging inside of me. This movement causes my body to be pummeled from the inside. It must be the pain. Dizziness and nausea assail me, and my limbs are senseless. I won't be able to get back home before Ilya like this.
何を弱気な。そんなこと言ってる場合じゃない。
I mean, you gotta go for it. Slap my cheeks and start walking. As I start to lean on the wall and head to the door, I hear a sound on the other side of the wall. Footsteps. A few of them too. These people, approaching while talking, stop in front of the door.
見回り。くそ。
Yeah, that is
なんだってこのタイミングで。
truly horrid timing. There's no time to hide. I should. Fight the patrol. Hide in chair. Hide in bed. It's tough, actually. I don't think the bed. Right? That doesn't seem like much of a choice to me. But we could maybe pretend we're tied up? And maybe get them to leave? I mean, I'd imagine they're maguses, or magi, so would it be smart to try and attack? And would that get Berserker over here? Maybe we don't want that. Maybe we want to try to... I have no time to think. I don't have a chance of winning with this body. Yeah, and I guess we are kind of, you know, we have an absurd amount of magical energy, like, flowing, like, storming inside of us right now, and we are very weak and could barely move. I don't have a chance of winning with this body, so I should avoid fighting until I feel better. I cross my arms and try to pretend that I'm tied up. The door opens. Is it Ilya or someone from the castle? Anyways, just before the person enters the room, I manage to sit down in the chair and put my arms behind my back.
無事ですか、シロ。
What? Hi, Saber. How you doing? I'm stunned. I seriously wonder if this is just a comfortable illusion. I'm wondering the same thing. I did not expect this.
縛られているので、すぐに解きますから、そのまま。
We're not actually tied up. Man, it's a good thing we didn't jump, right? We would have tried to jump Saber.
いや、縄は解けてるんだけど。
I stick out my hands to show her.
話が見えないのですが、シロはここで囚われていたのでは。
No, we definitely were. We thought it was just a random patrol, so our solution was to hide in the chair and try to pretend that we were tied up still. Oh, we have to actually admit that, huh?
いや、なんとか自由になって逃げ出そうとしたところで誰か来たから、とりあえず捕まったふりをしてたんだけど。
なるほど。敵を油断させて、脱出を確かなものにしようとしたのですね。
Yeah, pretty much, but Saber is impressed. Well, I won't tell her that I didn't think about what to do after that.
それよりセイバーだよな。幻じゃない、本物のセイバー。
Yeah? I get up and touch Saber.
シロ、待ってください。そのように触られては。
Oh, Lord.
本物だ。あ、けどどうしてここに？
どうしてなんて、そんなことは言うまでもないでしょう。サーバントがマスターを守るのに理由はいりません。
Yeah?
シロが囚われたのなら、助けに来るのは当然ではないですか。
いや、だからどうして俺が捕まったって知ってるんだよ。いや、そんなことよりどうしてここにいるんだセイバー。ここはイリアの隠れ家だぞ。今のセイバーが近寄っていい場所じゃない。
I mean, she can kind of just sense when you're in danger, right?
それは私のセリフです。あなたこそ何をやっていたのですか。
Being stupid and going on a walk to the park.
一人で行動するなとあれほど言っていたのに、やすやすとイリアスピールに拉致され、このような場所に監禁されるなんて。
Yeah, that was pretty stupid.
シロはマスター失格です。この件については何らかの謝罪をしてもらわなければ気が済みません。
Can we do that later after we save Tosaka? Because she's kind of possibly about to be murdered.
確かにそれは軽率だった。 けどどうしてセイバーがここにいるんだ？
To rescue you?
セイバー満足に動けないんだろ？
Yeah, fair.
だっていうのにイリアの本拠地に来るなんて何考えてるんだ？
あなたこそ何を考えているのです。サーバントはマスターを守る者。シローが囚われたのですから、イリアスピールの本拠地だろうと関係はありません。
Saber speaks clearly. Her figure is just as it was before. It's different from the figure sleeping, weak and in pain.
シロー、どうしたのです？急に黙り込んで。やはり捕まっている間に傷を負ったのですか？
Nothing major.
いや、そうじゃない。俺のことはいいんだ。それよりセイバーこそ元気そうでよかった。
I really regained my peace of mind. I'm surprised Saber's here, but I'm happy she's back to normal. It's just selfish prejudice, but I think Saber is meant to act like this.
すまなかったな、セイバー。事情はよくわからないけど、俺を助けに来てくれたんだろ？
はい。サーバントとしてマスターを救うのは当然ですから。
ありがとう。お前が来てくれて本当に助かった。
Yeah, no kidding. I'm glad. And she's blushing hard, what the heck? I'm glad. There's no problem now. All that's left is to escape with Saber and... Hey. Why can I see Tosaka? What? So they're just all here. Gang's all here. Ilya's like, yeah, I'm gonna go kill him. Like, I'm going to your crib. And they just rotated. It's like, Tosaka and Saber were here. Ilya was over here, and they just said, whoop. Just kind of did a little reversal. What the heck?
Tosaka.
Hey. Is she really seriously there?
思ったより元気そうじゃない。これじゃあ私たちが出向く必要もなかったかしら。
I know, we appreciate the help.
だからそう言っただろ、リン。エミやシロなど放っておけと。この手の男はな、周りに迷惑をかけるだけかけて、自分だけは生き延びるのだ。今回のはいい機会だった。見捨てておけば、勝手に死んでくれたものを。
Brutal. Saber, you gotta deck him for that one.
聞き捨てなりません、アーチャー。助力を頼んだのは私ですが、あなたにシロを侮辱する権利などないはずです。
いざ主が助かればそれか。マスターもマスターなら、サーバントもサーバントだ。協力者に対するありがたみなどないようだな。ま、いずれ戦う身だ。情など持たれない方がやりやすくはあるが。
Jeez, Archer really lays it on. Those are fighting words. We're about to box. Saber falls silent as if he hits a sore spot. This guy, does he not get along with Saber either?
そこまでよ。今がどんな状況なのか忘れてるわけじゃないでしょうね。
Yeah, let's get out of here.
おしゃべりなんてしてる暇はないわ。イリアスフィールが戻ってくる前に撤退しないと。
ちょっと待ってくれ。トーサカたちはここがイリアの住みかだって知っててきたのか？いや、そもそも。
Ilya went out intending to kill them. Then, does that mean Ilya and Tosaka missed each other?
助かった。今頃イリアはうちに向かってると思う。トーサカたちがここに来てくれなかったら、イリアと戦う羽目になってた。
ええ、そうみたいね。イリアとバーサーカーが外に出たのは確認したわ。
So they just watched Ilya leave.
そうでもなければこんなところまで忍び込まないけど。
What, we all like camping in a bush or something? Just waiting? I see. Tosaka took oh my goodness. I see. Tosaka took such drastic measures because she knew Ilya went outside. She's as direct as ever, but that turned out for the best this time.
とにかく話は後よ。ここがアインツベルンのアジトって分かった時は覚悟してきたけど、合わないならそれに越したことはないでしょ。
That would be pretty sweet, huh?
セイバーがそんな調子じゃ、バーサーカーには太刀打ちできないしね。
Tosaka steps between me and Saber.
トーサカ、セイバーがそんな調子ってどこがだよ。顔色もいいし、もう以前のセイバーじゃないか。
Yeah, she's functional, but she wouldn't do well in a fight, it seems.
あなたね、
そんな都合のいい話があるわけないでしょ。
No kidding.
セイバーは全く回復してないわ。立っているだけが精一杯って見てわからない？
リン、それは黙っていると約束したはずです。
悪いわね、そんなの破棄よ。黙っていてもマイナスなだけだし、そもそも隠し通せる問題じゃないわ。
I mean, not wrong.
それはそうですが、しかし。
She hesitates painfully. That makes me realize that her condition has not improved at all.
セイバー、今の話は本当なのか？
はい。リンの言うことは正しい。恥ずかしい話ですが、今の私ではセイバーとして戦うことはできません。
そんなことだろうと思ったわ。武装もできないぐらい弱ってるくせに一緒に行くって聞かないんだもの。
Yeah, that's a problem.
戦えない代わりにマスターをかばおうとでも思ったんでしょ。
Probably. My breathing stops. What is that? She's so weak she can't arm herself? What ridiculous things is she saying about being my shield?
すまないシロ。このような体ではサーバント失格だとは分かっていますが、それでも盾の役割はできます。
I think he's more dissatisfied that
不
you'd
服だ
even
とは思
try
いま
that.
すが、今はそれで。
That's it. Why do you always think such stupid things?
ふざけんな。そんなの不服に決まってるだろ。遠坂、お前なんだってセイバーを連れてきたんだ。今は俺のことよりセイバーの方がずっと大事だって分かってたんじゃないのか？
何よ、私だって反対したわよ。けどセイバーはどうしてもって聞かないし、そもそもセイバーじゃないとあんたの居場所は分からなかったわ。
Everyone looks
危
dumbfounded
険
at
なの
his
は百も
comment.
承知だけど、それでもセイバーは必要だったの。
Although I can't say I blame them, I guess.
お前、それでも。
I start to yell that she shouldn't have brought her, but I stop myself. I'm in no position to criticize Tosaka. No, you're not. The root of all this was me getting captured. Tosaka and Saber just did what they thought was right.
口喧嘩も結構だがな。今はそこまでにしておけ。
Yeah, we might want to actually leave.
マスターならば自分の住処の異常には敏感だろう。悠長に説明している暇はないぞ。
Yeah, no kidding. We need to get out of here.
そうね、イリアスフィールのやつ、今頃慌てて戻ってきている頃だものね。いいわ、話は後にしてあげる。今はこの城から出ることが先決よ。それでいいわね、城。
Yeah, let's do that.
シロ、私たちも。
Leave?
いや、けど。
If Saber is like she was last night, isn't it difficult for her to even walk? I can't let Saber push herself if she's in that state.
まったく。どうやら私も甘く見られたものですね。
We do.
セイバ
いくら魔力が尽きているとはいえ、今でもシローよりは戦えます。私から見れば、シローの方こそ消えてしまいそうで怖い。
Fair enough.
リンは気がついていないようですが、体内の魔力が乱れているのではないですか。
Maybe.
ー。いや、けどこんなのは大したことじゃない。我慢すれば持ちこたえられる程度だ。
Perhaps there is magical energy rampaging around our body right now.
俺は全然大丈夫だぞ、本当。
では、私もシローと同じです。苦しいですが、我慢しきれないものではありません。突然のことで状況がつかめないと思いますが、今はリンに従いましょう。話をするのなら、それは家に帰ってからです。
Let's do that. Saber urges me forward. Jeez, I can't even worry if she says so with such an expression.
そうだな。話したいことは山ほどあるけど、それは無事に帰ってからにする。
Yes, about Saber's body, and thanking her for coming to save me. Yeah, let's dip. That dream is not something I should ask her about right now.
よし、行こう、セイバー。
Nodding, I move my body earnestly. Ooh, yikes. I sweat with each step, but I can't complain. Saber came all the way here with her weakened body.
うお。
Wow, this place is insane. As soon as we leave the room, I gasp. Is this a hallway? In this museum-like hallway, I guess the building is really big.
ちょっと見とれてる場合じゃないわよ。この城から出ても外は一面樹海なんだから、急がないと朝になるわ。
Yeah, we gotta go.
一面の樹海？じゃあここ本当に山の中なのか？宮山町から車で何時間っていう樹海？
I mean, she straight up told you that.
そう、アインツベルンの隠し城よ。この城から出た後、何時間もかけて森を抜けなくちゃならないの。今は夜だし、朝日が昇るまでには森を抜けるわよ。
Yeah, we really need to not get caught in the forest. Tosaka runs down the hallway without hesitation. I guess she's heading to the back entrance she snuck in through.
今が夜なのは知ってたけど、一体どのぐらい捕まってたんだ、俺は。
I thought it was only half a day, but it might have been longer.
シローがイリアスフィールに囚われたのは朝方でしょう。
Okay. Good
それ
thing.
から半日が経過しています。
It's a good thing we didn't get the it's been a day and a half.
日付は変わってしまいましたから、形の上では丸一日囚われていたことになりますね。
Yikes.
そうか。面目ない。
Okay, you can be ashamed all you want, but you gotta dip.
いいえ、そのようなことはありません。イリアスフィールに捕まってこれだけの時間が過ぎたというのに、シローは無事でした。
それはそうかもしれないけど。
I mean, true. He did manage to resist the whatever, like she put on him. Oh my goodness. Like the binding.
ええ、イリアスフィールは少女に見えてもアインツベルンの魔術師です。もし彼女に屈していたのなら、シローはシローではなくなっていたでしょう。
So it was definitely the right choice to not go with her. Or not nod. Okay, good. I was, admittedly... I mean, I figured that if it was a bad end, we just die pretty fast. But at the same time, it didn't feel right to nod. Right? Because... if we nod there, how are we getting out? Like... we just aren't, I guess? But I guess if that would have made us, like, turn into something else, that would have been really bad. So it's a good thing I didn't do that, I suppose.
私とてその可能性を考慮しなかったわけではありません。最悪、あなたは死んでいるものと覚悟してこの城に足を踏み入れたのです。
Ooh, yeah, sorry about that.
だからここでシローと再会できてよかった。マスターが無事な姿を見せているのですから、私も負けるわけにはいきません。
Saber says so with a faint smile. I feel the same way. I was so worried, wondering whether Saber was all right.
ちょっとやる気あるのかっていうのよ。
Man, it doesn't feel like it. Yeah, y'all best go with Tosaka. Get out of here.
もたもたしてると本気で先に行くからね。
Tosaka yells at us from the corner ahead.
やば、話してる場合じゃなかった。急ごう、セイバー。
I run, urging Saber on as well. Thank you, Tosaka. Every step brings unpleasantness and pain as if boiling water is pouring into my veins. That is such a vivid description that I never wanted to read in my life. I didn't know I didn't want to read it, but I never wanted to read that in my life. Ugh. But I can run if I grit my teeth. Forcing my aching body to move, I follow Tosaka. Saber is running behind me as if escorting a sick person. She must be in pain. She's acting firm, but Saber's in no condition to move properly.
セイバー、苦しかったら。
I stop myself from asking her if she needs a hand. If I said that, Saber would stubbornly try to run on her own. I should just watch for now. If Saber looks tired enough that she can't make excuses, I can carry her then. Saber is really troublesome. This stubborn girl won't rest unless I do something that forceful. And so, following Tosaka's lead, we reach the exit of the castle.
出口って、ここ入り口じゃないのか、遠坂。
何当たり前のこと言ってるのよ。玄関っていうのはそういうものでしょ。入る時も出る時もここが一番手っ取り早いんだから。
I mean, yeah, I suppose, but it's also the most obvious. Tosaka runs down the stairs. Well, I'm in no position to complain. Saber and I descend the stairs into the hall. I guess this is the lobby. That must mean we'll be outside if we go through that large door at the end.
よし、ここまで来たら大丈夫。問題は森に出てからだけど、まあ夜だし、闇に乗じて国道まで出られるかな。
That'd be nice, but, you know, things that convenient don't happen.
イリアスフィールが戻ってきて、 シロがいないって気づいたところで後の祭りよ。
We're definitely getting jumped. There's no way.
あいつが帰ってくる頃には朝になっちゃってるしね。って何よシロ、その顔いかにも服装だけど。
いや別に遠坂は大物だなって再確認してただけだ。
変なところでおかしな確認するのねあなた。
Yeah, I guess so. Like, entering the enemy's base from the main entrance and the way she's acting so confidently.
まあいいわ、とにかく外に出ましょう。帰り道は覚えているから迷うこともないしね。
We head for the entrance. A long hall stretches from the lobby and a large door can be seen on the end. It's amazing. The hall is about 30 meters long. I think to myself that this place really is a castle, and the instant I start to walk...
なんだ、もう帰っちゃうの？
Yeah.
せっかく来たのに残念ね。
Yeah, I didn't really think we'd be getting away. The voice of the girl who shouldn't be here echoes through the room with a faint laugh. I turn around instantly. Everybody stops. The instant I turn around and see the enemy, I understand that I will be killed if I turn my back on it again. Hi, Berserker, what's up?
イリアスフィール。
Tosaka's voice is shaking. Across the hall. On the stairs we came down is something that should not be there. It's strangely like the time before. Ilya is standing above us, with Berserker standing behind her. Berserker's presence is overwhelming. As I can feel the servant's strength now, I can understand how much of a monster he is. How absurd. He's not at a level Saber could match even in her normal condition. It probably wouldn't even be a fight. That thing is not something that can be beaten in battle. Defeating Berserker means eliminating it without fighting it. In other words, we should have avoided him if we didn't want to die.
こんばんは。あなたの方から来てくれて嬉しいわ、リン。
Ilya's voice is cheerful. That smile is the same as it was 8 days ago, innocent and merciless emotion that will kill any insect she catches. I understand now. We won't be able to get away. I can't stop Ilya no matter what I do. Even if I can get Ilya's attention, that doesn't mean everyone else can get away.
どうしたの？黙っていちゃつまらないわ。せっかく時間をあげてるんだから、遺言ぐらい残した方がいいと思うな。
Brutal. She giggles, but we don't have such composure. We will run for the entrance if there's an opening. Even though we know there will be no such chance, we can only wait for it.
じゃあ一つ聞いてあげる。
But still, Tosaka takes a step toward Ilya. Oh, that's bold.
イリアスフィール、あんたが戻ってきた気配はなかったけど、もしかしてずっと隠れてたのかしら？
そうよ。私はどこにも行っていないわ。私はね、ここからあなたたちの道化ぶりを眺めていただけ。
That's tough.
そう。外に出て行ったのは偽物ってわけ。
ええ、あなたたちが来ることは分かってたもの。
Yeah, we got outplayed.
私は主人なんだから、お客様のおもてなしをしないといけないでしょ。
The giant figure suddenly disappears. I don't know if it jumped or just moved there. Berserker appeared in the middle of the lobby with a whirlwind. Oh my goodness. We're done for now. We retreat, we'll be slashed in half the instant we turn our backs. But we'll be killed as well if we stay like this. The only path left is to challenge that massive death, knowing it'll be pointless. I think the only option is to, honestly, just kill Ilya. I don't know what else you could actually do here.
おしゃべりはおしまい。それじゃあ、始めよっか、バーサーカー。
The girl raises her hand as if performing some kind of a ritual, looks down at us, and...
誓うわ。今日は一人も逃がさない。
She declares so with delight and murderous intent. Jesus. Light shines in Berserker's eyes. The servant that has obeyed Ilya up to now has his mind released and identifies us as his enemies. A gritting sound. Osaka grits her teeth hard as if regretting something.
あーちゃん、聞こえる？
She murmurs in a quiet voice without turning around.
少しでいいわ。 一人であいつの足止めをして。
Well, yeah, that's gonna kill Archer. She orders her servant to die. Archer does not answer.
バカな。正気ですかリン。アーチャー一人ではバーサーカーにはかなわない。
私たちはその隙に逃げる。アーチャーには私たちが逃げ切るまで時間を稼いでもらうわ。
Is Archer really about to just die for her? I mean, he totally would, but Jesus, man. Ignoring Saber, Tosaka continues her instructions. Are we gonna just let that happen? That's the question. Her voice is cold, killing her emotions. Archer, who has been silent as if pondering something, quietly nods and...
賢明だ。リンたちが先に逃げてくれれば、私も逃げられる。
What, just needs to hold on for like few, like even just a minute or two and command spell him out of there? Or...
単独行動は騎兵の得意分野だからな。
Or maybe not. Maybe he's got enough faith in himself to get away. Takes a step forward as if to protect Tosaka. Berserker does not move. Only Ilya's laughter can be heard from above.
へえ、びっくり。そんな誰とも知らないサーバントで私のヘラクレスを止めるって言うんだ。なんだ、案外可愛いとこあるのね。
I'm just saying. Boy, Archer, if you want a chance right now, you better be Robin Hood. Like, that's like your only chance, bro. Neither Tosaka nor Archer has the composure for a rebuttal. Tosaka and Archer know that fact better than anyone. Archer steps forward. He is empty-handed as usual. Tosaka's watching Archer's back. She feels really bad about this. Look at her face. She must not have anything to say to him. Tosaka should know her command is unreasonable. Because she told her servant to die so that we can escape.
あーちゃん、私。
He's just gonna say, like, don't say anything. Tosaka starts to say something.
ところでリン、一つ確認していいかな。
Archer interrupts her words in a cool voice unsuited to the situation.
いいわ。何？
Tosaka looks at Archer with a downcast look. Still looking at Berserker.
まあ、時間を稼ぐのはいいが、別にあれを倒してしまっても構わんのだろ。
What? You got that much faith? Archer says something unexpected.
あーちゃん、あ
Bro,
んた。
she's like, what are you talking about, bro? This boy better figure out what his Noble Phantasm is and bust that thing out real quick.
ええ、遠慮はいらないわ。ガツンと痛い目に合わせてやって、あーちゃん。
そうか。ならば、期待に応えるとしよう。
Bro, if Archer actually takes on a freaking Hercules Berserker, that would be insane. I would love to see that. But I'm just saying, if that boy wants a chance, he literally better be Robin Hood. Like, that better be who your identity is. Archer moves forward. There are only 10 meters between him and Berserker. That thing should be able to close that distance in an instant.
バカにして。いいわ。やりなさい、バーサーカー。そんな生意気なやつ、バラバラにして構わないんだから。
Ilya speaks in a hysterical voice. I was going to say, she sounds not happy. Tosaka turns her back, not paying attention.
行くわ。外に出れば、それで私たちの勝ちになる。
Tosaka starts to run, taking both Saber and my hands. Saber follows Tosaka without objection. I start to run to the entrance, leaving Archer behind. But from behind me,
エミヤシロ
he stops me, still with his back to me. I turn around, letting go of Tosaka's hand. What does he got to say to us? In the lobby, now far away, is the back of the man facing Berserker.
いいか。お前は戦うものではなく、生み出すものに過ぎん。
Or a maker? What do you mean by that? Berserker charges. Archer stares at his enemy without backing off, still empty-handed.
余分なことなど考えるな。お前にできることは一つだけだろう。ならば、その一つを極めてみろ。
Is he telling us to do, like, to make something right now? Archer raises his hand. I don't know when he got it, but in his hand is that short sword.
忘れるな。イメージするものは常に最強の自分だ。 外敵などいらぬ。お前にとって戦う相手とは自身のイメージに他ならない。
Man, he's really dumping all of this on us right now before he might die. The red back sinks. Berserker's attack rages. I start to run without seeing the clash of the two. Tosaka and Saber are already at the entrance. I run without turning around. The red back tells me to just go. Is there even a chance he survives this? We go down the long hallway and pass through the gate. Unbelievably, the place really is a castle. Yeah, no kidding. What the heck? An old castle hidden deep in the forest. This whole place is surrounded by trees as far as the eye can see, and neither buildings nor sky can be seen in the distance.
こっちよ。3時間もすれば国道に出られるから、それまで走って。
3 hours, huh? I honestly don't know if my body will last that long. The pain gets worse the more I move. The heat should go away if I rest, but we don't have time for that right now.
シロ、早く。
Yeah, dang, my bad. Tosaka sounds pressed as well. Tosaka's the one who gave Archer that order. She looks calm, but her mind is filled with regret.
分かってる。すぐに追いつく。セイバー、急ごう。
はい。急ぎましょう、シロ。
Answering and nodding, Saber starts to run as well. Making my way through the trees, I follow Tosaka. Saber is visibly breathing hard. I can't see in the darkness, but she must be in pain. I can't leave her alone any longer. Saber loses her balance. I grab her forcibly from right beside her as she falls to the
ここ
ground.
までだ。これ以上は無理だぞ、セイバー。
何を言うのです、シロ。
What, did bro just scoop her up and is running with her now?
この程度の苦境、今まで何度も経験してきました。私はまだ十分に走れます。
It doesn't look like it. You were collapsing.
何言ってんだ。何度経験していようが、苦しいものは苦しいだろう。いいから、少しは弱音を吐けってんだ。
Bro, you say that like you have the energy for this. I pull at the arm I'm holding. It must be because Saber's light. I'm able to hold her up in my arms rather easily.
何をするのです、シロ。
I guess we're just carrying you.
何言って、しばらく休んでろ。そんな顔で走られてちゃ、こっちが先に参っちまう。
ブレーナ、話しなさい。この程度で私が倒れるとでも思っているのですか。
You were literally about to fall over. Saber struggles in my arms, but our opposition is too weak. The arms that try to push me away are too small and too weak. Yeah, that's how you know she's out of it, bro. She should be pushing you so hard that you end up back at the castle. That makes me painfully realize how weak she's become. I never thought Saber would be unable to push away someone picking her up.
何を考えているのですか、シロ。このようなこと、いくらマスターといえど許しません。
I'll use a command spell right now. You think I won't? Saber is struggling with a bright red face. Well, certainly. The position she's in right now must be embarrassing for a knight, but now isn't the time to worry about appearances.
嘘つけ。俺を振りほどけないぐらい弱ってるくせに大丈夫なわけがないだろう。いいからおとなしくしてろ。マスターとしての命令だ。
Tough.
それでも聞かないって言うなら、レイジを使う
Oh
しか
my
なくな
god.
るぞ。
He actually threatened it.
卑怯な。こんなことでレイジを使うなど、そんな無意を容認できるはずがない。
Bro, I can't believe he actually threatened it.
ならおとなしくしてろ。急がないと遠坂に置いていかれる。
She knows he's right. Saber reluctantly falls silent, so she must have accepted it. That's fine for now. If she doesn't struggle, I'll be able to run while carrying her. I mean, not that Shiro's exactly the peak of health right now. My vision flashes on and off. Does my blood accelerate the more I run? Bearing the nausea in my throat, I run through the forest while gritting my teeth. Is it time for a role reversal? I breathe wildly, but I hide my pain as well as I can. There's only one reason to do so.
シロ、下ろしてください。
She gonna pick us up?
やはり私も走りますから。
Yeah, I don't think that matters at this point. Because if I look even a bit pained, she looks up at me uneasily. I can't stop here.
甘く見るな。セイバー一人どうってことないぞ。壊れたストーブに比べれば女の子一人分なんて空気みたいなもんだ。
I mean, fair enough, I guess.
ですが、
いいから黙っててくれ。ギブアンドテイクって言葉知ってるか？ 今まで助けてもらったんだから、これぐらいしないと釣り合わないんだよ。
It's a nice gesture, but I don't even know that Shiro has the strength to do this right now. Honestly.
ここらで借りを返しておかないと、明日から守ってもらえないだろ。
いえ、そんなことはないのですが、私の方こそこれでは釣り合いが取れなくなる。
Aren't you the one who wholly Excalibured Ryder yesterday? I don't think you're in debt to us.
そりゃよかった。じゃ、きついのは今回限りだな。がぜんやる気が湧いてきた。
I let a huge breath out and kicked the ground. Osaka's choosing to go through narrow openings even though she knows I'm carrying Saber. It's fine because Saber is light, but following her takes all my effort.
ほら、喋ると舌を噛むぞ。黙っていてくれた方が俺も助かるんだから、おとなしくしていてくれ。
はい。それではマスターの指示に従います。
Saying so, Saber relaxes in my arms. It's hard to carry her before since she was unwilling, but it'll be a bit easier now. The problem now is whether Saber's body and my body will make it. Yeah, that's the real question. Like, yeah, bro, you're literally seeing red. How long have we been running? Feels like 30 minutes, and it feels like an hour. No, running isn't that bad. I haven't been training for nothing, and Saber really is light. But now... Inside, my body is messed up. I get dizzier the more I move, and I feel like throwing up. We're in a forest, so I would understand if I was bitten by a poisonous snake or something. This isn't pain that'll kill me. It's just that my chest feels heavy and I feel like throwing up. This is nothing compared to the warmth in my arms right now. Saber's closing her eyes as if asleep. She's not resting because she's relaxed. Her body is getting hotter by the minute. Even though it's winter, her body is sweating and she's hanging her head to try to hide her ragged breathing. Yeah, y'all are in a bad spot, man. A repeat of that night. Saber collapsed from using all her energy after using that sword on Ryder. Saber hasn't healed a bit since that night. Was her ability to talk now just a brief spark before she disappears? I run, trying to deny that. I don't care about my body. I just make myself believe that something will be possible if I get home and keep running. I almost fall and stop myself from collapsing by leaning against a tree. I can taste blood, so this is the cause of my nausea. I didn't spill it onto Saber since it was only a bit, but I still feel the cause of the nausea in my chest. Coughing up blood again. Saber would be mad at me for a different reason if I threw up the contents of my stomach. Actually, I bet Saber would seriously try to cut me in half if I did that. Yeah, that's funny. Imagining a funny thing gives me some strength. Alright, I'm done resting. Yeah, looks like she realizes that we're not in a better state either.
Saber.
She wasn't asleep? Saber speaks in my arms.
終わりって何が？
ですから、シロは一人で逃げるべきです。その体では私を連れて行くことはできません。
I gotta be honest, I don't necessarily think carrying you is the problem. I mean, it might not help, but it's not like Shiro's in a better state.
そんなことあるか？今のはただ転んだだけだ。こんなの別にどうってこと。
And come on, you know Shiro. There's absolutely no way he'd ever do that.
あるわよ。そんな死人みたいな顔で何言ってるんだか。
Hey, Osaka, who was leading the way, is back here now for some reason.
強がるのは勝手だけどね。いくら夜の森だからって口元の血ぐらい隠しなさい。それじゃあセイバーに心配されるのも当然よ。
Yeah, maybe shouldn't have made that one obvious. Osaka glares at me. Saber must have noticed that voice.
よかった。リンがいるのなら話が早い。
Saber says so without looking at Osaka.
でしょうね。セイバーの言いたいことはわかるわ。時間もないことだし、そこの大バカにもわかるようにさっさと言ってやって。
Saber nods.
はい。リン、私をここに置いていってほしい。私を連れていては逃げきれないし、何よりもう長くは持ちません。
I can't yell at her for saying such a ridiculous thing. I have no intention of leaving Saber. But still, I know well enough that Saber's condition is worsening. Saber won't last long. I vaguely knew that she wouldn't be able to make it until morning like this.
そう。で、シロはこのままセイバーと心中する？
God, man.
まさかそんな気はないし、セイバーは消えさせない。セイバーが消えるって言うんならレイジでも何でも使って。
And what, force her to kill?
オーケー、それならいいわ。じゃあ両方とも解決しましょう。セイバーを助けて、ついでに3人でこの森から脱出する。今後の方針はそれで決まりね。
Yeah, that sounds like a real convenient plan. If you have a way to do that, I'd love to hear it.
は？
My brain turns into tofu. Tosaka says the most difficult things so easily at times.
ちょっと待って。そりゃ確かにそうしたいけど、それができないから。
いいからこっちに来て。言っとくけど、私も簡単にセイバーを死なせる気はないわ。ええ、この機会は逃さない。あなたにはその責務を果たしてもらう。シローもいいって言ったし、そうしても構わないわよね、セイバー。
Tosaka looks at Saber with a meaningful expression. Saber does not answer, but merely looks downward awkwardly. Once we pass between the exceptionally tall trees, an unexpected sight appears before me.
廃墟？
Holding Saber, I look at the building with blank amazement. I don't know why, but this building in the woods is now a desolate ruin.
ここならしばらく身を隠せるでしょ。来るときにね、アーチャーが見つけておいたのよ。万が一の時の隠れ家にしようって。
Speaking of Archer, I wonder what happened to him, man. I head towards the entrance, stepping over the rubble. How long has it been since it was abandoned? The building seems like a corpse desecrated by the forest. The entire ground floor is taken over by trees. The only usable rooms are on the second floor, and this is the best of those. Miraculously, the windows are still intact. I don't know how, but I can see the night sky from here.
ほー、割合綺麗じゃない。もしかしたら最近まで誰かが寝泊まりしてたのかもね。
Yeah, if it's that clean, it seems pretty likely. Really, what kind of nerves does she have? Stepping over the rubble, Tosaka is dusting off the bed by the window.
シロこっち。セーバーを寝かせないとまずいでしょ。人に抱かれているのって結構体力使うのよ。
Is it?
ああ、今行く。
I lay Saber down on the old bed. So what, the plan is to sleep?
どう？苦しいセーバー。まだ体を動かすのには問題ない？
ええ、シローがここまで運んでくれましたから、まだ体を保っていられるようです。
そう。ならあとはこっちの問題だけか。
What, the complete lack of magical energy?
あれから1時間。イリアスフィールが追ってくるにしても、もう少し時間はかかるわ。探すのに手間取れば、朝方ぐらいまでは隠れていられる。
Mumbling reminds me. We were able to make it to this ruin, but what happened to Berserker and Archer? He remained at the castle to keep Berserker there. It's been over an hour, so Archer should already have retreated from the castle as well.
遠坂、あいつは。
He's gone, isn't he? Tosaka doesn't answer. She just places her right hand on her chest as if holding something dear. That tells me of Archer's fate. Tosaka's command spell's on her right arm. The master and the servant are connected. A Saber sensed my danger. If the master can sense the life and death of their servant...
遠坂、あいつは。
まあね。足止めだけでいいって言ったのにさ。
God dang it, man. You really had to die on us? Are you serious?
あいつ、最後までキザだったな。
Man, I know him and Shiro kind of did not agree on a lot of things, kind of had beef, but I don't know. I don't think he was that bad. I liked him. I think he was trying to help Shiro in his own way, right? He might not have agreed with his philosophies, But like, he saw potential in him. God, man. I can't believe that. Osaka murmurs as if laughing off a bad rumor. Silence follows. The silence that seems to last forever is...
けど無駄になんかしない。アーチャーを失った以上バーサーカーはここで倒す。
What? Aborted by the sound of Tosaka punching her left hand with her right. What do you mean you're gonna get Berserker
悔や
here?
むのはここまでよ。悩んでいる暇があったら行動するのが私の心情。ここまで来たらあなたにも覚悟を決めてもらうからね。
覚悟って何のだよ。
What, are we about to box Berserker?
決まってるじゃない。イリアスフィール、バーサーカーを倒す覚悟よ。
Yeah, if you can explain how we're pulling that off, I'd love to hear it.
セイバーを連れてたらこの森からは出られないし、彼女を自然に回復させるにしたって時間がかかる。どのみちイリアに追いつかれるわ。
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but if you have a method for us to beat Berserker, please explain it. What, we might literally just have to summon Excalibur and go sicko mode with that thing. That's all I've got.
わかる？私たち3人揃って森を出るにはバーサーカーを倒すしかない。
Otherwise, we have to leave at least one person here.
それができなければ私たちもアーチャーの後を追うだけよ。
バーサーカーを倒すだって。
That monster? Beat that whirlwind of death that nullifies every attack and destroys all that it touches in a single blow? I can't even imagine that. Anything that fights him will die. Osaka must know that as well. She's saying we'll beat it in spite of that? Yeah, well, it's not like you have a better option here.
いや、違う。
What am I saying? Osaka isn't saying we can beat it. She has no such false hopes.
そうか。
That's right. We're not going to beat him to win. I should have realized that immediately.
倒すしかないんだな。
It's just that. If we don't want to die here, we have to beat that monster.
そういうことよ。けどそれほど絶望的な状況ってわけでもないわ。
I feel like it kind of is, but
いくらバーサーカーだってアーチャーと戦った後なら何らかの傷を負っているはずよ。私だってとっておきの宝石を全部持ってきてるし、セイバーさえ回復すれば打開策の一つや二つは作り出せるわ。
I don't know. Will he? Will he even be wounded? Will Saber be recovered? That's a lot of ifs.
逆に言えばね、バーサーカーが傷を負っている今こそイリアスフィールを倒せる最大の機会だと思わない？
I mean, yeah, I suppose it is.
けど肝心のセイバーを回復させる方法があるのか。こんな場所じゃ満足な治療もできないんじゃ。
Yeah.
うん、セイバーの治療に場所は関係ないわ。
Oh.
セイバーは単に魔力切れで弱っているだけだもの。一定量の魔力さえ補充してあげれば、あとは以前通りの能力を発揮してくれる。
So how are we pulling that off? Tosaka's explanation makes me remember last night. Tosaka said that Saber's magical energy is almost depleted. So to replenish Saber's magical energy...
いい？セイバーを助けたいなら、セイバー自身に人を襲わせて魂を食べさせるしかない。なら答えは一つよ。霊樹を使いなさい、エミヤ君。それで最悪の事態は避けられるわ。
I don't know that he's willing to do that, man. There are 2 command spells left. I have to use this, make Saber attack people, and make her consume their souls to replenish her magical energy. We can't beat Berserker unless Saber is healed. We'll be beaten if we don't beat him. I sneak a glance at Saber, who is lying down. As we are now, we'll only make Saber suffer, but that means...
いや、トサカ。それでもセイバーに人を襲わせるのは反対だ。
I mean, I respect the morals, man, but what other option do you have?
ええ、今回は私も同意よ。これが他の場所だったらその提案をしたでしょうけどね。でもここはイリアスフィールの庭の中、人の魂なんかどこにもない。あの城の中にはバーサーカーとイリアスフィール以外の誰かがいるかもしれないけど、
It's actually
それを探しに行くのはミスミス七に赴くようなものよ。
That's actually a valid point that for some reason I didn't consider. Where would we get the souls?
食べさせるためには外に出ないといけない。本末転倒になるってことか。
Yeah. Osaka nods. I'm glad that I don't have to make Saber attack people, but then, how can we replenish her magical energy?
でもどうするんだ登坂。そもそも俺がセイバーに魔力を補充できないから困ってるんだよな。
方法はあるわよ。その昨日ってもう一昨日に説明したでしょ。
What? Teaching us how to do it, or?
サーバントに魔力を分け与える方法は共有の魔術とそれ以外にわずかな方法しかないって。あの時はまあこんな状況になるとは思わなかったから言わなかったんだけど。
I recall the conversation yesterday. She certainly did say.
まあ召喚時にセーバーとパスが通っているはずだからまだ方法があるかもしれないけど。
Something like that.
思い出した。パスは通ってるから魔術以外の方法があるとかなんとか。
Wait, did I say something wrong? Maybe I misheard her back then because I was shocked about making Saber attack people.
登坂、なんか方法があるのか。
まあね、私がサポートできる範囲で2つ。この状況だと荒っぽい方になるわ。
Alright.
いい？セイバーの魔力不足は素人のパスが不完全だからよ。
Right.
彼女を回復させるにはこのパスを完全な形に通し直すしかない。
確かにそうできれば一番なんだろうが、俺はパスの通し方なんてわからない。
First of all, we had that problem since Saber was summoned. We wouldn't have been in this trouble if the line to supply her with magical energy was established.
話自体は簡単よ。素人セイバーを共感状態にして霊的なパスをつなぎ直すだけ。
Okay.
契約破棄や最小間以外にパスを修復するためにはそれしかない。
Alright.
そのためにセイバーにシローの魔術回路を移植するの。
Oh, lovely. Transplant my magic circuit into Saber?
セイバーとシローのパスを新しくするには霊的に重要な器官を移植するしかないわ。サーバントとマスターが聖杯の力を借りているのならそれに匹敵する強い結合を生み出さないとパスは通らない。そのためにはマスターの魔術回路をサーバントに移植する。それくらいやらないとシローの力がセイバーには届かないから。
So how does one go about doing that? Magic circuit. A mechanism Magi need so they can use Ode to activate mana. This is the core of Magi, and without this, one cannot create magical energy, which is the source of magic. It is more important than their life for Magi. You can even call it the meaning of their existences. I can give that magic circuit to someone else?
サーバントの回路をマスターに移植するのは危険すぎるわ。ゴーストライナー、それも英霊の回路は死にゆく人の体に移しても強烈な拒絶反応しかもたらさない。
Okay, so let's skip that.
そうなると残された手はシローの回路をセイバーに移植するしかないってこと。でもそれは張り巡らされた神経を引きちぎられることと同じよ。そうなればその負担は
The one the organs are transplanted from. Ripping out nerves mean the same thing as ripping off your fingers and arms.
待ってくださいリン。それはあまりにもシローに。
そうしないと誰も生き残ることはできない。あなたなら分かっているはずよ、セイバー。
Yeah, this is not really a choice. We don't have a better choice. I take care as I gulp so they won't hear it. I have to get my priorities straight. I have no time to hesitate if it's clear what needs to be done.
登坂、それは成功するのか。
成功させるわ。でも成功させることはそのまま安全につながるわけじゃない。失敗させるつもりはさらさらないけど、成功すればシローの魔術回路はセイバーに奪われる。むしろ失敗した方がいいんじゃないかって思えるほどの喪失感と苦痛を生むでしょうね。
Tough. So what? Does that mean we won't be able to be a magus anymore? Or she's taking our magic circuit? Or
もし魔術回路を奪われればそれはシローが
My second nerve, the magic circuit, will be taken out. This means removing the part of my nerves, damaging the spiritual body's integrity, and creating a fatal defect as a magus. The essential parts are written in the blueprint, but what happens if those parts are lost? You can never perfect something that is lacking. My hope of becoming complete will disappear here. Once Emiya Shiro loses his foundation called the magic circuit, he will stay incomplete no matter what. I nod to myself. I see. And it's much better to be able to save Saber.
よし。やろう、遠坂。
早っ。決断が早いのはいいけど、本当にどういうことなのか分かってるの？
I mean, yeah, but do we have a better choice? It's that or just die.
分かってる。遠坂、教えてくれただろ。
分かってるわけないじゃない。いい？セイバーを救うために、私はシローに魔術師として死ねと言ってるようなものなのよ。
だから反論はないんだって。遠坂の考えた最上の計画だからうなずくんだ。もっと自分の計画に自信を持てよ、遠坂。そんな風に慌てるとこっちが不安だ。
That's yeah, fair enough. That would be concerning, I'm not gonna lie.
それに、そうしないとセイバーはバーサーカーと戦えないんだろ。
そうよ。そうだって言ってるじゃない。
だろ。それに、俺たちには犠牲がないわけじゃない。あいつが稼いでくれた時間のためにも戦って勝たなきゃいけない。
Yeah, we don't have an option here. I know I keep saying that, but we literally don't. I know it still would be hard to steal your resolve here, but I think Shiro's... I mean, he's got the resolve to do it. He knows what he has to do. His back told me to go. I didn't like him, but he risked his life to protect Tosaka. Then I can't be chickening out here.
いいわ。始めましょう、シロ。
セイバーもいいか。俺の魔術回路を移植するってことなんだが。
はい。それがマスターの判断なら。
Her voice does not contain affirmation or denial. But her eyes look as if they're in regret. I guess Tosaka's going to prepare us for the transplant. I don't know how from the first place, so I have to leave it to Tosaka.
まずはセイバーからね。シロを魔術回路をオンにしたまま、できるだけ心を乱さないように待機していて。
Sure. I close my eyes and turn over the artificial nerve in my body. I can turn the circuit on and off without a problem, thanks to Tosaka, but... What the heck? A red flower entangles itself with a white flower. Tosaka gets on top of Saber, who cannot move, and casually, brazenly moves her fingers across Saber's slender body.
待て、遠坂。お前、セイバーに何をする気だ？
何って、セイバーにもリラックスしてもらおうと思って。セイバーが力を抜いてくれないと成功率が下がっちゃうし。
Let's get her to relax.
ああ、そういうことか。悪い。続けてくれ。
ええ、どうも。それじゃあ服を脱ぎましょうか、セイバ
Of course.
は？
ー。いちいち驚かないの。脱ぐって言っても一部だけよ。魔術回路の移植は精神と体の融合よ。できるだけ接触を多くして遮蔽を少なくしなきゃいけないでしょ。
That makes sense. Tosaka is serious and calm. The only ones flustered are Saber and I.
待ってください、リン。それでしたら自分ででき。
腕を上げるのも辛いくせに強がらないで。はあ、それともエミヤくん、マスターの責務としてセーバーを自分で脱がせたいとか。
Oh lord. Chill. Dope. I stop myself before I call her an idiot. With the joke aside, that's something I'm not suited to do. I can't stay composed if I have to do such a thing.
すまない。そっち任せた。
よろしい。そういうわけだからシロも脱ぎなさい。
Of course, of course.
上着脱ぐだけでいいから。下まで全部脱いだら殺すからね。
I'll kill you if you take your bottom off too. Jesus. I can't tell if she's serious or joking. I wouldn't test her. Anyways, it seems I need to take off as much clothing as I can to come in contact with Saber.
シロ、お願いです。しばらく背を向けていていただけないでしょうか。
Okay.
わかった。準備ができたら言ってくれ。
I turn around, take my shirt off, and fold it up. I even fold the sleeves so I could put it in a drawer if I wanted to, and try to hide my nervousness.
大丈夫セイバー。
はい。だいぶ楽になりましたが。
I have to calm down. I try to suppress my fear while acknowledging how hard the transplant of the magic circuit is, and how much loss and pain the process involves. This is just a passing point. The thing I should be scared of is the fight against Berserker after this.
いいわよシロ。
ああ。
Okay, let's get it, I guess. Jeez. Went blind. Saber's skin is like new fallen snow, or marble. With the front of her blouse hanging open, Saber is so beautiful it bordered on profane. I suddenly forget to breathe. You might need to do that. I've seen her skin before, but the Saber in bed right now is unlike any Saber I've ever seen. Oh, good lord. This is awkward. It's because of the weird tension. With myself aside, Saber's acting strangely too. Before, she was acting normally even when I saw her skin.
シロ、こっち。ここに上がってセイバーに覆いかぶさって。
Of course, of course. Feels like I'm moving a borrowed body. I'm walking to the bed, but stepping on the rubble doesn't feel realistic.
セイバー、同調までは私がやるわ。それからあとはあなたにお願いするけど、持っていきすぎないように注意して。少なければ少ないほどシローの負担は減るから。
わかりました。お願いします。リン。
The conversation doesn't come into my head. I have my hands full on steadying my breath. We get even closer. We're so close that our skin is almost touching. I feel her weak breath. I support myself with my arms, and my body is too close to her.
変革準備。実質。ボーガ、接続開始。
Her spell starts. I shake off useless thoughts and clear my mind so I can sympathize with Saber.
小さく、小さく、小さく、小さく。円環航路開始。
The only thing I can see is Saber's face. She's already in meditation. I can't keep my eyes open forever. I close my eyes reluctantly.
大きく、大きく、大きく、大きく。愛路行動、連続閉鎖。
My senses are becoming vague. The sense of floating that I feel every night when I constructed the magic circuit. The feeling of my mind escaping my body and being flung away. But it goes in the opposite direction this time. It usually goes on my back, but my mind is escaping out of my chest right now. The 5 senses are functions of the body. My sense of hearing should go away since I'm out of my body. But my ears are hearing Saber's breathing sharper than before. The gentle breathing is starting to become lively. The sound of the rapidly beating heart. The sound of blood flowing through the veins. I slip out the shell called Emiyashiro and slide into her body. My mind sinks even deeper. I converge, swirl, shrink, and become a strong crystal to enter her. The beat, warmth, breath. I touch her mind, not her body.
シロ。
A voice like a bell. I answer the voice. My mind completely breaks away from my body. My senses completely transform. I have no arms, legs, or self. I run naked. It feels like I'm running back in time. It rather feels like I'm being left behind. It accelerates. Body, personality, order, law. I become a dart and penetrate through numerous barriers between boundaries of individual. Sparks fly from the circuit. The sensation of reaching the speed of light freezes me. This is wild. It's as if passing by human life in a second. The concentrated life is heavy and therefore cruel. No matter how the life is, it passes by in an instant. It's unbearable to stare at it direct on. Therefore, my emotion is anesthetized and freezes. This is what it's like to go on a journey with only the mind. I realized what an excellent insurance the weight called the body was. Visualization of foundation of magic. Digitalization of human. Several hundred organs are connected using several billion connections. The infinite complex pattern is a highway made of simple repetitions. What the heck am I reading? The distant future that eventually is. It's like a vehicle going through an illuminated city without any life. Here, the present time passes by at light speed. Eternity in an instant. I pass through the final boundary. Beyond this is inside her. I will see the magic circuit owned by the existence called Arturia. This is like an acid trip. The change is extreme. The fast world filled with light is cut off in an instant. It's dark and heavy here. Pressure compresses my outline. The air is too dense, and it feels as if I'm underwater. My body is slowly sinking, accompanied by pain as if squashed by a strong force. The path is deep, and I can't see the bottom. It feels like I'm falling through massive darkness into an even denser darkness. The fact that I instantly went past thousands of miles feels like a lie. Now I'm suffering for an eternity to go a mile. I feel no hope nor light ahead. Is this really Saber's magic circuit? It's greatly different from mine. They say the shape of a magic circuit and the number of paths are different for each person, but this is different. It's not about scale or ability. It seems Saber's magic circuit is fundamentally different from that of a magus. The path rumbles. Each time, my small self is almost crushed. I don't know what kind of magic circuit Saber has, but I know that the sympathizing spell is working. This isn't a failure. This place is dark and heavy unlike Saber, but this isn't an impure place. It's so full of life. The flowing air is blood and also a swirl of magical energy. I realize that I've forgotten to breathe, maybe because there's no need to. The sinking is painful, but not life-threatening. I look up at the darkness I fell through, and it feels like it's a distance I can't go back. First of all, I can't see anywhere in this darkness, even as a slow fall seems infinite. Seems infinite, excuse me. The weight of the air changes. The speed of descent decreases even more. I narrow my eyes at the brightness of the darkness. Nice little oxymoron there. There is an end to this infinite path. I feel Saber's warmth and breath. That's the final destination. I reach the source of Saber's magic circuit, the mental world at her scent. But the scenery is beyond my understanding. The core of a star. The embodiment of fire that breathes deep underground is here. What the heck is this? Not a sound. The red surface of the lake is swirling, but stays silent without splashing around. A huge shard is in the bottom of the lake. The eye of fire perceives the small intruder. A foreign body is still a foreign body, even if its master allowed it inside. In this core, my mind is only a piece of trash that disturbs its function, or a piece of wood to light the fire. I swallow my breath that I do not need. I stare at the full scenery. This is Saber's magic circuit. Her heart that exceeds humans and is fundamentally different from ours, which is imagined from lines and circuits. This place is a reactor core. If a magus's body is a machine which creates magical energy, this place is a factory which creates magical energy. But the core isn't active. The starting key to make the core turn, the source of energy to provide the first turn, is not there. There is such a great amount of magical energy in an enormous magical core that there isn't enough magical energy to activate the core. It rises to the surface. the stalled sea of gasoline. No matter how much undiluted magical energy there is, it's meaningless without a fire to burn it. It doesn't matter how small the fire is, this core will resume activity once the path to send magical energy is connected. For that, a thing transcending human knowledge awakens. What is going on? The many paths running across the lake swirl up. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of flashing. The red atmosphere shoots up and becomes pillars. Or is this how it is inside a thundercloud? The raging sound of the waves is so huge that I already cannot perceive them with my hearing. Just like how something so huge cannot be seen, its roar is just like silence. The thing appearing from within the blazing core is an embodiment of all the threats to mankind. What is that? Oh, is that a dragon? I see. It has been said, the king is a red dragon symbolizing Britain, the child of the sacred star, carrying phantasmal blood in a human body. Dragon, the symbol, fear and king of the numerous phantasmal beasts, appearing sometimes as evil and sometimes as a god, the highest of all beings. That is what is in Saber's unconsciousness. It is an absurd true nature that is appropriate for the best servant. The cauldron is opened. The too brutal fang fills my vision. Resistance is meaningless. A mere human cannot defend against it. A mere human's intelligence cannot think of running away. Ah, it must have been that hungry. With bloodshot eyes, it bites down on food that is as small as dust and eradicates all words. Oh my god, what the heck is this? Come to think of it, why isn't food on the table alive? It doesn't even need to be said. It cannot bear it if it's alive. We know that food is better fresh, but it's still dead because it's too cruel to keep it alive. In short, despite appearances, edible meat preserves the dignity of life. Screams and rage boil up. I forget who I am and roar like a beast. I appeal my pain. Hatred builds up. I resist with bare sensation. As I'm bitten on, I beg for mercy like a sinner being crucified. My senses vanish. I drop all goals and meanings. Keeping sanity here is as distant as the time of creation. Excessively powerful pain and pressure, and the instant I can only perceive this creature as a monster. We're getting pulled out. I recall her figure, hanging her head, believing that I can withstand this hell. I recall the meaning of this pain. I exhilarate the significance of this anguish. I fully realize why I came to this place. I breathe out and stop resisting. The one I should fight against is not the dragon's fangs, but the pain within me. I didn't come here to get away from the pain. I'm here to save her from pain, and to answer the trust she kept many times. Thus, as I cannot fight, I'm here to give her the best answer I can give. There's no pain I can describe anymore. Oh, hey, it's the main menu thing. I'm now reaching out to my destroyed senses. I stay quiet as if I'm asleep and sharpen my senses. Eternity is an instant here. If that is the case, I can stay conscious if I can withstand the pain even for an instant. Alright, then. I have no fear. I shall dedicate this pain to you, the one who is fighting. pain disappears in an instant. The red dragon is gone, and my consciousness rises. Did it grow light because I lost some of it? As if returning to the surface, I get away from the core against my will. Wait, I have to check something before that. How warm. The core is burning golden with a low sound. The delicate magic circuit is glowing with all the colors of the rainbow, restarting the circulation. The fire has been lit. Even though I may be an amateur magus, I was able to fulfill my role as her master. I surrender my body to the soaring wind. I catch a glimpse of a distant memory. A figure holding a sword, and a figure dancing in the field. Which did I find familiar? I feel the sun on my eyelids and open my eyes slowly. I check my body with my dizzy mind. My limbs are still there. I don't feel any wound on my body. Maybe the pain went away when I endured it. My mental wound that could have been a trauma is healed as well.
Shiro.
Hey, what's up? I hear a weak voice from under me. The feeling of her soft skin instantly makes me realize who she is and what we're doing. Saber's lying on the bed with an untidy blouse, and Tosaka's curled up and asleep. Tosaka's alright, but Saber's been under me dressed like this.
Ohayo, Saber.
はい。おはようございます、シロ。
That was something. An awkward greeting. Saber slowly gets up and fixes her blouse. Crap. We're conscious of each other and can't look at each other in the eyes.
もう起きられるようになったんだ、セイバー。
I guess it worked then.
はい。魔力の供給を受けられるようになりましたので。
It seems Saber's back to normal. Well, thank God. The frailness when I carried her here is gone now.
そうか。よかった。成功したんだ。魔術回廊の移植は。
はい。ですから服を着ていただけませんか、シロ。その格好のままだと私もなぜか話しづらい。
Get dressed, bro. I look down at myself.
そうか、そうだよな。そうだった。
I quickly reach out from my extremely folded up clothes. Osaka folded up my clothes. No, I'm the one who did it. Why did I fold it up this much? The world may never know. I vividly recall the ritual last night. I sympathized with Saber and transplanted my magic circuit deep inside her. It looks like Saber's back to normal, but what about me? Osaka said that my body and mind would not be able to handle losing the magic circuit. There's no big damage, nor do I feel any big sense of loss. I'm a bit scared, but I check my magic circuit. I dread looking at how much of it is missing, but the fight against Berserker is waiting. I have to know the condition I'm in. Weird. The magic circuit is a bit dull, but I don't see any damage. What? Oh, we're just built different. It was bitten to pieces, but my magic circuit is still there. What, is it because we resisted the pain or something? I guess there's nothing wrong with it for me to use the strengthening spell.
そうか。これって。
The magic circuits I rarely used probably were taken away. I only activate 1 to 4 circuits for strengthening. I can't use any large-scale spells, so I've never fully activated all my circuits. It seems the magic circuits transplanted into Saber were those circuits I rarely used. Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
シロ。
I can still use the strengthening spell just fine. But my body's fatigue and dullness as if I'm in water is because my full ability has degenerated. Okay, so we can't power spike to become a really, really good magus really anymore, but we might still be able to do some stuff. Like, I mean, strengthening, we might be able to, you know, create stuff, but we're never going to be slinging around spells like we're in Dragon Age or something, or Skyrim. In its place, I feel that I'm connected deep down to something important. I can't clearly tell where, but there's a weak link between Saber and I. I've obtained something big and warm in place of my lost circuits.
申し訳ありません、シロ。
I hear Saber's apologetic voice from behind me.
シローの回路を得る際に必要最小限に留めるよう努力はしました。ですが、その最低限の量ですら人から得るには多すぎた。
Yeah, we
もしやシローに消せない傷跡を残してしまったかと思うと、
What's funny
謝
is
罪の言葉も見当たりません。
What's funny is he for real doesn't care. Like, he didn't seem bothered by it at all. Because he's like, yeah, I don't even use those circuits.
これは私の不覚です。私が書くも力足らずでなければ、シローには。
Man, chill out on yourself.
そんなことはない。セイバーは謝らなくていいんだ。そもそもの原因は俺が魔力の供給をできないでいてセイバーに迷惑をかけていたからだろ。でもそれもこれで解決した。これからはちゃんと魔力の供給ができる。これで本当に胸を張ってセイバーのマスターだって口にできる。
Man's not dead weight anymore.
ですがシロー、
俺の魔術回路のことは気にしなくていいよ。どうせ使わないものみたいだし、むしろない方がすっきりする。
Saber doesn't look happy. Crap, I don't know what to say now. Saber's healed, and I survived in spite of losing my magic circuit. Saber's magic circuit, and the dream of light and wind in Saber's youthful days. And on top of that, we spent the night dressed like that bro. Calm down, calm down. That was a ritual for us to survive. I have to calm down. I may make a mistake in the oncoming fight like this. What's up, Tosaka? Her breath pauses and she lets out a voice. It seems Tosaka woke up.
おはようございます、リン。
よう、トサカ。おはよう。
Her hair moves and she raises her head. Tosaka's not a morning person, so she's like a different person right now.
サンキュー、トサカ。ちゃんと成功したぞ。
はい。私の魔力の補充はできました。ですがその代わりシローに。
Fine.
いや、なくなったのは3割ぐらいだと思うから大丈夫。これくらいならなんとか。
Man, yeah, we for real did not use nearly that much, so it's fine.
3割ですか。
What?
なんとか最小にとどめたというのに、それでも3割とは。我がことながら、なんと強欲な。
Yeah, nah, don't worry about it. We probably never used those 3/10 ever.
強欲か。そうだな。腹ペコだったにしても、もう少し行儀よくしてほしかったな。
What? Bro's teasing her. Chill, bro. The awkward mood disappears since Tosaka joined in. Now we're really back to normal. Good.
そう。じゃあ、いいわね。
Let's. Tosaka yawns once and stands up. Did we end here? Probably. Seems like a fine place to end. I definitely don't want to accidentally, like, get to the battle, so let's just go ahead and wrap it up here. Okay, bookmark. Boom mark, yep. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the conclusion for this episode. So, first of all, I just want to throw it out there. I definitely did episodes 12 and 13 in the same session. I've been recording for 4 hours and 17 minutes. So, I have a lot to process. I'll talk about this episode first, and then actually do the conclusion for episode 11 next. Or, is it 11? Or is it 12 and 13? I don't know what I'm on. I think I'm on 12 and 13, actually. So, well, this is the conclusion for 13, then. So this episode was wild. So, it was, like, insane the whole duration through. First of all, we've got, I think I got a bad end in this episode, right? Did I? No. I think I'm cutting it right before that. Or maybe I did. I don't know. I'll see where I cut it later. I might have got the bad end. The bad end was weird. But it's pretty much just what happened here, except it just cuts off. I mean, we got captured by Aaliyah, right? She did not want to kill us. She wanted to keep us as her servant forever, right? I don't know. Was she gonna, like, break our mind or something if we agreed to stay her servant? Like, Tosaka seemed to say that, like, if you don't resist, or I think it might have been Saber. Somebody said, like, if you don't resist, like, you wouldn't be you anymore. So I don't know what she was planning on doing with us. And she said something about she's been waiting to do this for 10 years. So I have absolutely no clue what happened. Like, did something happen to her 10 years ago? I don't know. Like, I definitely want to learn more about Ilya, but obviously we can't exactly have mercy on her anymore. She's not going to have mercy on us. It was definitely, I mean, she was about to kill us. Now Archer he's dead, unfortunately. I still can't believe that loss, man. That's just insane. But while escaping, obviously, we determined the only way to survive was to fight Berserker and win, which required us to go on the acid trip that gave 3/10 of our magic circuit to Saber, right? So just all in all, absolutely insane episode. There was like no downtime, right? The whole thing was just insane the entire time. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. No clue when I'm recording again. Probably won't be long. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Whenever the next episode comes out, I hope to guys see you there. Peace.